Your News Center, thank you for staying with us. The big story today, candidates taking part in the August 8th general election are today holding pre-nomination meetings with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. That is currently taking place at the Lillian Towers. You can see the IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati there giving his address. Let's listen in.
The Constitution and the law of the land. And we have no intention of acting contrary to the law. Now, the law is passed by Parliament. The Constitution 2010 was passed by Kenyans, and the Constitution does not operationalize itself. If you look at the Constitution, it says clearly this provision, Parliament shall make law to operationalize this provision, this article, this article. So Parliament made laws to operationalize provisions of the Constitution. And as a commission, we've done our level best to follow the law. I agree with some of your comments that the law, where it's inconsistent, cases have been filed in court, and the court has pronounced itself on various sections of the law. And when the court does pronounce itself, we as a commission obey the court orders. And so, if you turn to Section 29 of the Elections Act, it says that persons who nominate a presidential candidate shall be members of the candidate's political party. That's 29(1). The persons who nominate a presidential candidate shall be members of the candidate's political party. And then 2, the persons who nominate an independent presidential candidate shall not be members of any political party. That's what the Election Act says, as revised in 2016. Presidential aspirant Nasrin says she has a case in court. I hope you have articulated these issues, and I hope the court will pronounce itself on these matters. But as a commission, we cannot change this. We cannot come and say, let's now do away with these provisions unilaterally. And that is the position of the commission, that we must follow the law. And this is not the first time. This was there in 2013. You went through the same thing, those of you who stood in 2013. You can bear me witness that this is what you went through. And now asking this commission to change these provisions at this stage. And I'm told and I'm aware that communication has been done. Some of you have come to my office and we have engaged on this. And therefore it is, let's follow the law as far as we can, because the law is what guides us. If the commission decides to make unilateral decisions in disregard of the law, then we are headed for a state of anarchy. And I think if the court pronounces itself on these provisions, we shall see what the court says and apply it accordingly. And therefore, I just want to say that on the issue of the supporters lists. On the issue of, there was a question about names appearing in small letters, capital letters. I think there was a mention of Honorable Baraila's name in small letters. Now, the names which we published, the information published, was uploaded on our systems by the political parties and candidates. And we published the names as they appeared, as uploaded. We didn't change anything. So if the IT person in ODM sent us a name in small letters, that's what we published. So the commission did not change anything. And the reason why we published those names is for you to make comments if there are any errors in your name, any additions. Some of you brought us names, uploaded the names without certain details, no photos. So the idea was to engage so that you make corrections so that we come up with a proper list of candidates. So that has nothing to do with the commission. The names were published as received from the political parties and candidates. So I also want to say that the issue of supporters lists actually applies to presidential candidates in terms of the provisions of Section 29, which I've read. So it has nothing to do with all the other candidates countrywide. The independent presidential candidates are 12, so we are not talking about 4,000 candidates countrywide, and that perception that we want to lock out 4,000 candidates because of provisions of the law should not be there. We're only looking at the law provides supporters lists in this respect of Section 29 only to presidential candidates. I think that has to be made very clear. Aspirant Nasrin talks about degrees, whether they are saying that Constitution does not provide for certain things which you are asking for, like educational qualifications. If you look at Article 138 of the Constitution, actually it's clear that candidates must meet the requirements of the Constitution. And I'm happy my learned friend Kurokot is one of the drafters of the Constitution. I think that's what you had in mind when you are drafting the Constitution, that you must have certain criteria. And education is one of them. The Election Act comes up and gives the criteria. Presidential candidates and the running mate, as well as governors and running mates, must have a degree. So if you don't have a degree and you come on 28th, we shall of course return you back. So that is what the law says, and you have to make sure your degree is genuine. Of course, that's why we are working with the other agencies to ensure that there is compliance. And so just want to make it clear that we must follow what is provided for. And this information was published by the Commission, and the communication was done accordingly. And not only that, the reason why we are engaging now is that if there's anything, we can explain to you. Our offices are open. Please feel free to come between now and the nomination day if there's anything touching on you individually, so that we can sit down with you and clear it up. We are working on the register. There was a question about voters' numbers. I didn't get it. Immaculate, I think you'll pick up that one. The issue of submission of signatories, both in hard and soft copy, that is actually Regulation 18 of our regulations. And it was communicated to the candidates. I don't know how the person who asked this question, the candidate who asked this question, missed it out. But for presidential candidates, you're supposed to submit in both soft and hard copy. And I think if you have that individual problem, I think we need to sort it out as soon as possible. Let's see our officers who are here with us today. There was a question on airtime, equal media coverage. That's very important. All candidates are equal. Abduba, I think when you present your papers and you're accepted, for us as IEBC, you are a presidential candidate. And there's no two-horse race or that kind of thing. Now, when it comes to the media, we give you, the law says you must have equal airtime, Section 41(2) of the Elections Act. And the Commission will do its level best. We are already working with the media. We have an arrangement with them. We developed the media guidelines, and we look forward to enforcing this regulation so that everybody gets equal airtime. Of course, I'm aware that most of the media stations are private stations. They choose sometimes what to air and what not to air. I think when this regulation came up, it was mainly KBC-controlled media. But we have media guidelines, and we have been having meetings with the media. We look forward to networking on this particular issue. Campaign schedules, yes, we shall have
IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati there. At the Lillian Towers, remember, IEBC is meeting aspirants this morning. Presidential aspirants are at